Namaste everyone, welcome to Educational Nexus Point, your one-stop destination for all your yoga competitive exams. Yoga's amazing journey through all ages. What does this mean? It is history of yoga. So we all know what is yoga. In our previous session, we have discussed about origination of the root word yoga. And in today's session, we are discussing about the history of yoga, the ancient roots, the origin, where it came from. We all know that it originated in India, our land, in about 3000 BC. It was first said to be found during Indus Valley civilization. The Indus Valley civilization was related to the two rivers which were connected, that is Indus and Saraswati. So the civilization was formed here, was one of the largest at that times. We have an evidence stating that the seal of that time consists of Lord Pashupati in it. Lord Pashupati is Lord Shiva. So the earliest traces of yoga, like practices, can be found in this Indus Valley civilization. These practices included meditation, breathing exercises, and postures. In Hindu tradition, yoga is deeply rooted with its emphasis on self-realization and liberation from suffering. So you might be all knowing that Lord Shiva is regarded as Adi Yogi or Adi Guru for yoga. So we started worshipping Adi Yogi from then, taking the reference of yoga. In early Hindu texts like Vedas and Upanishads, they have mentioned yoga as the path for spiritual enlightenment. This is another advantage. So let's go through the ages one by one. Coming to the pre-Vedic age, the scholars believed that yoga grew out of Stone Age from shamanism. Shamanism was most famous in Afghanistan during pre-Vedic times. Initially, it was community oriented. Later, yoga evolved into a more inward experience, and yogis focused on their individual enlightenment and salvation during pre-Vedic period. Then moved to Vedic ages. Vedic age was between 1500 to 500 BC. It was introduced the concept of yoga as means of self-discipline and spiritual growth. Rig Veda is one of the, we know that there are four types of yoga: Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharvana Veda. And we have four Upavedas also. But Rig Veda is one of the oldest scriptures which mentions yoga as the way to achieve union with divine. In earliest term for yoga like endeavors in India, the term tapas, you might be knowing. Tapas was did literally, this ancient Sanskrit word which means heat is derived from the verbal root tap, which means to burn or to glow. This term is often used in Rigveda to describe the quality and work of the solar or superficial fire. Yoga is spiritualized orientation of earlier tradition of this tapas, which yogis practiced to attain their goal. Coming to pre-classical yoga, in this period, the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita was developed. The Upanishads expanded on the concept of yoga, exploring the nature of the soul and its relationship with the universe. The explicit examples of the concept and terminology of yoga appears in this Upanishads text of Vedanta, that are the culmination of all Vedic philosophy. Like in Maitraranya Upanishad, yoga surfaces as Shadanya Yoga, uniting the principal disciplines of 6 limbs. Shad means 6. So Shadanya Yoga having 6 limbs. First one is breath control, that is pranayama. The second one is sensory inhibition, that is pratyahara. Meditation is dhyana. Concentration, dharana. Examination is tarka. Ecstasy, samadhi. So all these was mentioned in Shadanya Yoga in Maitraranya Upanishad. You all might be knowing that there are 10 major Upanishads which deal only with yoga. and we have it as a separate unit, and we'll be dealing with that in that unit. Then coming to Bhagavad Gita, it was written around 500 BC, and it is the first scripture devoted entirely to yoga. You know what? Bhagavad Gita is a part of the great Mahabharata epic, which introduces the concept of karma yoga, the path of selfless action. It emphasizes the importance of right action and ethical behavior. It was the preaching from Lord Krishna to Arjuna, the Madhyama Pandava, and it is their conversation, what happened during the period of Mahabharata war, before the Mahabharata war started, when Arjuna was totally defended and he was not in a mood to continue with the war. He was given some upadeshas from Lord Krishna, and this is mentioned in this text, Bhagavad Gita. In pre-classical yoga period, not only this Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita was under the influence of yoga, we have certain Jainese writers who, like Harishchandra Suri, he made use of some of the codifications of yoga in his book Yoga Bindu. In this book, he praises yoga as it is a wish-filling tree. So we can clearly understand that in pre-classical yoga period itself, in Jainism also this yoga was developed. And in classical era, this was the most important time and the most important period in which the growth of yoga happened. And it was the period in which Maharshi Patanjali wrote his Yoga Sutra, that is Patanjali Yoga Sutra, which consists of Ashtanga Yoga or 8 limbs of yoga. Patanjali was not only just a sage, he was also a philosopher who combined the Yoga Sutras, and it was around 200 AD. His work is considered as the foundation for the classical yoga. The classical yoga thing emerged from Maharshi Patanjali. His sutras was the outline of the 8 limbs of yoga. Like in other Upanishad which we discussed earlier, that is Maitranya Upanishad, it was Shadanga Yoga, consists of 6 limbs. But Patanjali stated about 8 limbs, which encompasses Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. We will deal with all these things one by one in a separate class in detail. Maharshi Patanjali believed in dualism in yoga, and it was prominent during his period. That means that Prakriti and Purusha are not the same. Both are different. Let's see what is this Prakriti Purusha when we discuss in later classes. So this is just an introduction about the history of yoga. So we are just dealing with the history of yoga. We are not going into each topic in detail. In our future videos, we come across each and every topic discussed in detail. So next, coming to post-classical era. In classical era, Patanjali Maharshi developed Ashtanga Yoga. From this Ashtanga Yoga, a branch was developed that is called Hatha Yoga. It focuses on the physical postures, mainly on the physical postures and breathing techniques to prepare the body for deeper spiritual practice like Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. Hatha Yoga mainly emphasizes the importance of aligning the body and mind to achieve the balance between the mind and body and keep it in perfect harmony. It also explores the connection between the physical well-being and the spiritual awareness also. So this was the branch developed after Patanjali Muni constituted Ashtanga Yoga. So coming to the yoga in modern era, we have different modern styles, a diversified landscapes of practice. From late 19th century, yoga began to spread outside India. As we all know, Swami Vivekananda introduced yoga to the West when he went to the religious conference Chicago in 1893. Swami Vivekananda was well accepted and later traveled around all around the United States to spread yoga tradition. In similar time, in the same time, in United Kingdom also several yoga schools were developed and established. Popularization of many schools came during this period, and after In 1954, B.K.S. Iyengar introduced Iyengar Yoga to Britain for their well-being, and British School of Yoga was established in 1962 during this period. In the almost in the same time, Pattabhi Jois introduced Ashtanga Yoga, and he also gained much popularity in America. Many other popular yoga gurus like Swami Paramahamsa Yogananda, Krishnamacharya, Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, and all these people propounded their own type of yoga. They started preaching in India and around across the globe. Modern styles of yoga emerged, including these Iyengar yoga, Ashtanga yoga, Vinyasa yoga, and other many types of yogas. Each style emphasizes different aspects of yoga, offering a variety of approaches to the practice. Yoga is not only Ashtanga yoga, or yoga is not only dedicated to meditation. It is diversified and it is done according to the need of the people. Yoga has become a global phenomenon now, adopting by millions of people around the world for its physical, mental, and spiritual benefits. Hatha Yoga's emergence was mainly done for the preparing of the body for the spiritual growth. Hatha Yoga involves physical postures and breathing techniques that strengthen and purify the body. Asanas improve flexibility, balance, and coordination. Hatha Yoga also includes pranayama that regulate the flow of energy within the body and promotes the calmness and focus. Hope you are understanding. It is not only Hatha Yoga doesn't only focus on the asanas, it also focuses on the pranayama also. So you have to do the asana with the breathing practice. So in the class when you have to include breathing practices if you are practicing Hatha Yoga also. It is not, Hatha is not only for the asanas. You have to include both in that. Hatha Yoga is considered as a gateway for deeper practices, preparing the body and mind for meditation and spiritual explorations. Yoga is now spread to the West from various gurus, and now it has become a global phenomenon, having 200 million practitioners, and we have more than 500 styles of yoga across the globe. So, you all came to know about the history of yoga. Yoga is not only just a spiritual practice or just a physical exercise or just doing for meditation. It includes everything that is your mind, body, spirit, everything. So, this is about today's session, and our next session will be very soon. So, subscribe our channel, like the videos, share with your friends and family. For more updates, keep your notification on. Thank you.